The pick
right
is
on
in.
time.
First,
Pick is in.
First overall.
Oh!
Paolo goes number 1.
What an upset. Welcome to From the Logo Show, by the way.
Yeah. We definitely had a little bit of issues getting this set up today.
What are you talking about? Everything went as according to plan. That's why it's being uploaded 24 hours late.
You're going to see our almost live reaction to the draft today. We tuned in right on time. So Paolo number 1. How do we feel about that, guys, to the Magic?
I honestly think it's a good pick.
I think he's the best player.
I do too. I thought this the whole time. Like, if he was going to go 3, then if the Blazers could somehow sneak into that third pick, that's who I'd want the most out of those 3 guys.
Yeah, it's not really what everyone was expecting, but I think it's the right move. I think he has like probably the best potential to be like a perennial all-star of the 3.
Yeah. Shot creation, 6'10".
I wonder if he knew that or going in, or if he's as surprised as we are.
Well, look at his suit. I mean,
it's not exactly
Magic.
He looks like he's trying to be a king. Kinging.
Wow.
The King's King.
The King's King. California King. Wow.
Yeah,
I think it was a good move overall. I'm interested to see how the rest of the board goes down. I think OKC will take Chet. Mm-hmm. They like those high potential guys, and Houston will obviously just snatch up Jabari.
Yeah.
So
which will be a pretty good fit for them, honestly.
For sure.
Yeah, we've kind of been talking about this. I mean, I've had concerns all along about Chet, and it's not like I'm the only one who does.
Mm-hmm.
He has the type of body that has proven to be susceptible to breaking down, over the last
Zach
few
Collins
years.
2.0.
Yeah. There's not, or Porzingis even, there's not a ton of examples of people with that body type that have been extremely successful. Dirk might be the only one that I can think of.
I can't think of another one.
Right.
And he's got the European factor.
Yeah.
Chet is an American white guy. It's very problematic.
Drafting pretty high for that, for sure. I mean, if he can, I think Chet can be good if he can just stay healthy and on the floor. He has better handles than what people give him credit for. And I think if he stays kind of smaller and faster, I'm not saying he's KD, but if he just uses his slight frame to
American white guy.
Speed rather than power, though, he's not going to athletically dominate. He's more just built that way, like to affect players on the defensive end. So what's going to be really interesting to see is if Oklahoma City shocks the world and goes like Jaden Ivey, then what's going to happen? Like I doubt it, but we'll see what happens.
Chet falls to the Blazers at number 7.
And then they pass up on him.
Yeah. And he's like, we want Shaedon.
Yeah. So who do you guys think, assuming that the Blazers keep their number 7 pick, what do we expect to happen tonight?
I don't know if we can assume they're going to keep the pick.
I don't know if we can, but let's say they do.
Well, I think Sharpe is looking relatively likely. It's hard to predict. I could see a trade down as well, maybe with the Thunder for number 12. Dort is lurking, the Dorter chamber.
Yeah, he mentioned that. Riley mentioned that a few days ago that they were looking to trade down for Dort and the 12 pick, which I don't know if that really moves the needle.
With another asset, if you can get a future first, Dort and 12, I would do that.
And Thibault.
Yeah,
we haven't talked about the Blazers getting Jeremy Grant. That was pretty exciting yesterday.
I think that with
Brian Grant's son, Jeremy Grant.
Portland's own. I think that now we can officially rule the John Collins rumors and the number 16 pick dead. I think Grant's a 4. So that's my take on it. It'd
be really exciting if we could get another forward, I think.
A 3.
Yeah. I would be willing to probably trade either the 7 or Simons for a solid forward to fill in that starting lineup. I just think it's better to get size and defense around Dame.
100%. I think that they are.
That seems to be the route we're taking.
Yeah. I like it. I think for a few years now I've thought that that's the route that they need to do. Just like fill his deficiencies, because he's not that deficient in very many things, but basically size and defense are the 2 big ones.
And Grant is, I kind of cringed when people were talking about trading the 7 overall for him, but he's still probably the best wing that Dame's played with since Aldridge.
Yeah.
He's a two-way player. He's a lot better than Harkless and Aminu were at their relative
Especially offensively.
spots, especially offensively, 100%.
Trying to make sure it's still recording. Just like double check every once in a while.
True. Jabari looks a little...
Shit.
Oh,
Shook.
wow, yeah. He thought he was going number 1, it looks like. He's nervous now. He's going to Houston now.
Where's the clock? Does it say? Like,
Pick
how much-
is in.
Oh, wow.
So I'm predicting Chet.
That's who I got.
That's my
number
final
2 as
prediction
well.
here.
That would be crazy if he fell to number 3. I almost can't really see him on the Rockets. That'd be kind of a weird,
Chet?
interesting fit.
I
Yeah.
think Chet would fit in well with the Rockets. He moves his feet. He can play the power forward. They got Sanguine last year, and he was good.
Who
in
was the
draft.
number 2 pick that they had last year?
Jalen Green?
Green, is
Yeah.
that his name? Yeah, I couldn't
Almost
remember.
said Smith.
I knew it was Jalen something, but I couldn't think of his last name.
Yeah. Oh,
Pick
here we
is
go,
in.
Adam. There's Chet.
Chet,
So we
number
knew
2.
that was coming.
They weren't going to let him fall further than that.
And that
Pretty
basically
much
locks in
Jabari
Jabari.
for
number
that'll be. I
3.
think I can like see that more on Houston.
Oh,
For
yeah.
some reason, I can just see him on Houston a little bit more than.
100%. I think Jabari and Jalen is a really tough 1-2 duo because Jabari's a pretty good defender on the perimeter.
Mhm.
Both shot creators.
Spreads the floor, like pick and pop game between those two is going to be pretty lethal, I think. So I think that's what they'll do.
Hey everyone.
We're back. little break. We had a little break. That's okay. We're all ready to go. Looks like
pick number
number
3 is
3.
in.
It's going to be Jabari.
Jabari going 3. That's my prediction as well.
And it shocks nobody.
Yeah.
Jabari's going number 3. He's going to create a great duo with Jalen Green. We'll see what happens in the future for them.
He doesn't look shocked, but he looks a little bit like relieved that he got picked.
Yeah.
I mean,
he was-
everyone's pretty much known who the top 3 were going to
I
be.
think he
so.
was thinking he was going to go number 1 though. Although there could be some stuff that they knew that we don't know. Did you know I think his uncle is Kwame Brown?
Really?
Yeah. I saw that.
Well, his dad played in the NBA too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just a family of busts.
Second round pick. Jeez. I think he'll buck the trend. He's already got 2 really good bankable skills coming out. He's a great shooter and a great defender. I mean, if that's your floor, you're going to succeed in the league at least somewhat, And if he can build on that at all, he's going to be a great player.
Oh, it says Smith's distant cousin, Kwame Brown. Distant cousin. I like the emphasis on distant. He's like trying to distance himself as far as possible from
Jabari's in there
Kwame Brown.
editing Wikipedia.
He's like
Originally it
cousin,
said cousin,
distant
and
cousin.
distant.
Go check the edit notes. It's J. Smith Jr. edited.
React, Colton.
The
You're on
Sacramento
camera.
Kings select Keegan Murray. I predicted it. We knew that's what the Kings were going to do if we trusted me. And that leaves Jaden Ivey falling to the Detroit Pistons. I think that we'll have Mathurin probably slotting into the Pacers after that, and we'll see what the Blazers do from there.
Yeah. So do you think this counts as the Kings kinging? Or is
I think
this-
it was a solid move.
I think he might be the most NBA ready player, at least outside of that top 3.
I think he compares kind of favoritively to someone like Danny Granger, who is an underrated player.
Nice callback.
Well, just that wing that can do some of everything: shoot, defend, pass, rebound. Maybe won't wow you and go, wow, that's crazy. He's so good, but he can.
Is he as
complete
good
lot
of a shooter
teams.
as Granger?
He's a good shooter. I don't know if he's as good as Granger was in his prime, but we haven't seen that yet. That's just
You're My comparison is Danny Granger, and by Danny Granger I mean injured all the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, what do you think this does in terms of what we were talking about with John Collins possibly going to Sacramento?
True. You
Yeah,
never know.
okay.
I guess that does throw a little bit of a wrench into it.
Or does this just make Harrison Barnes easier to get rid of?
I think Murray's going to play 4. So it depends on what the Kings are going to do. You can't predict.
Go
what they're
King.
gonna do. Yeah. I guess I predicted
The Kings will king, bro. I can promise you that.
Yeah, we'll see what happens, I guess. But as it stands right now, the draft, besides the little flip of 1 and 3, has gone kind of what we were talking about before the draft. But
Yeah.
other than that, I think the Blazers are in position to take Sharpe unless Sharpe gets selected higher. He is a pretty crazy athlete, so
Be interesting if Ivy fell much lower.
I think Ivy will go to Detroit.
Pair him with Cade
Yeah, I don't think he'll drop.
and DeAndre Ayton, right?
That's the rumors are that Detroit's going after Ayton pretty hard.
Are they gonna sign him? Or are they gonna
They
trade
have
for him?
max space. They can just sign him to
They'll
the
just
max.
sign him, and Phoenix is just out.
Phoenix does not want to pay him the max.
What a
I've been
di-
telling you that.
What a disaster for
I mean,
Phoenix.
maybe they still will, but
Yeah, because they can match, right? But
can
we
match.
don't think that they want to. It seems like they're open to.
They're just completely willing to give him up for nothing. So that means Chris Paul's not gonna stay there, and like Booker's probably gonna be out. I mean, they're just blowing it up at this point.
Well, it's like I've said, if they trade DeAndre Ayton, the only thing that their team's going to be missing is DeAndre Ayton. Like that's the piece that they need is an elite big in order to be a 64-win team or whatever. So the idea that they're going to give up that piece,
Maybe
and
they'll trade him for Gobert so you can get
straight across for Gobert.
so they can get another center that was bounced by Maxi Kleber, Mavericks in the playoffs.
You know, an interesting thing I thought about was a little side compartment of the Jeremy Grant trade that the Blazers made was if Ayton leaves, you help to give Detroit the cap space to sign Ayton. So you weakened a rival if Ayton does leave. So it's a nice little
Playing chess while they're
Yeah.
playing checkers.
Trader Joe Cronin, right?
Yeah. So theoretically, if Detroit offered Ayton the max and then the Suns matched, could they then trade him? Could they do a sign and trade that way so that they didn't lose? So they didn't lose everything.
I think
That's a good
once the
question. I don't know.
teams,
I think
I
I
don't
don't
know
know
how
if they
that
can
works.
do that.
I think once the team signs that player, I think that there's usually like a year where
Yeah.
you can't trade them. I don't know how it works with the timing of
a sign and trade.
sign and
versus
trade
just
versus
a,
that.
versus matching a restricted free agent offer.
Yeah, but I know that after you sign players,
Where's
you
Woj?
can't
We
trade.
need to ask Woj.
Woj,
You should check it.
we should tweet at Woj.
At Woj, help us out with this.
Drop a bomb for us, a knowledge bomb.
Should've used my phone first.
Wow, mine maybe ran out of room.
What's going on? This is
We have an Xfinity pop-up going on.
right over where all of the information is.
Yeah, I think that this is an open and
Wow,
shut.
they have Sharp as the number 2 best.
Yeah,
Jay Billis is best available.
I think this
Daniels,
is an open
Griffin,
and shut. Ivy
Mathurin,
pick.
Duran. Yeah, he seems like he's the best guard available.
Yeah, I think it's obvious.
Is Sharp the second best guard?
Sharp,
I mean, right in there with Daniels, probably.
Sharp is potential. He's a ball of potential, and what he
I
showed
like
in high
Daniels'
school.
size, though, man. He's big.
Yeah.
6'8".
And that he shot 25% from 3, which you cringe at that, but at the last 11 games of the year, he shot something close to 40%. So people are saying his shot really came around as he got comfortable. I like Daniels as well, but
I read he was like the main facilitator on the Ignite team.
100%. So
Is he like Australian or something? Or?
yeah. You could have him as a great secondary ball handler and playmaker that's also 6'7" and probably still growing. So
We could have him as a secondary Australian to Thibault.
yeah, if the Thibault thing materializes, I don't know what Houston or Philadelphia is doing, trying to make Houston 2.0 and just go the Daryl Morey route of acquiring
Yeah.
PJ Tucker and Eric Gordon and Harden. Like, what are they doing?
They're trying to build a championship team around James Harden, man.
Mm-hmm. God, no. They'll probably trade Embiid next.
Yeah, for Brandon
For
Williams.
Chris Paul or Russell Westbrook.
Pick is in, Pistons.
It's gonna be Ivy. And as we keep predicting,
Other than that number 1, but there's a little bit of breaking news in that number 1 that kind of gave
Yeah.
us insight on that.
So the backcourt of the future is Ivy and Cade. That's a pretty great backcourt.
That
It'll be
is.
interesting to
That's
see.
a
Yeah,
good- that was a
especially if
couple
they
of
can
really
get a
high
big
picks.
man to go along with that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he's emotional.
Yeah.
He's like, shit, I'm going to Detroit.
I would know. He's like, hey, I just made millions of dollars just like that.
But I have to go to Detroit.
completely different.
Oh. I wonder if I'll meet Eminem.
Wow. I'm sure that's what he's thinking. That's why he's crying. He's such a big fan of Eminem.
He's like, I'm gonna go to 8 Mile.
Seems like one
Eat
of the
some spaghetti.
one of the biggest pieces of news that's kind of been developing all day too is this what's going on in Brooklyn, you know, as far
Right.
as Kyrie potentially, you know, looking at other teams that he's willing to go to in a trade situation, sign and trade situation, and then Durant kind of implying that if Kyrie's not there, he might not want to be there either.
Who could have predicted?
Kyrie wasn't there in the first place.
Yeah,
Really.
yeah.
Who could have predicted a marriage between Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving not working out?
Don't forget James Harden is
I
the
know.
odd third in there. Did those three guys ever
Ben
play?
Simmons is the stepbrother.
Yeah, that's just a dumpster fire to look at. You gotta
It's
feel
Steve
for them.
Nash's fault, bro. It's all
Yeah,
Steve
I
Nash's
don't know,
fault.
I don't know whose fault it is, but it's
Steve
entertaining
Nash.
to look at. Do you guys
Fire him.
Do you guys think Kyrie's gonna sign for the MLE on the Lakers now? Because I could see him doing it, giving up all that money.
Well, would they want him?
Yeah,
Yeah, for the MLE, yeah. But I don't think that's gonna happen.
dude.
I don't-
Can you predict Kyrie what he's gonna
True,
do?
but I don't think they'd be able to get him without. Basically, that's all they can really afford.
I
at
could
this
see
point.
Kyrie retiring right
Yeah.
now, like right
Yeah.
this second. I don't know what he's gonna
He's
do.
an unpredictable. He's a wild card. Wild card.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens, and it's definitely something to monitor out in Brooklyn. The whole league would try to gut their whole roster to get Durant if he became available.
That would be more worth going after, I think, because he
For
plays.
everyone.
He plays basketball professionally.
Yeah, I mean,
There's a big difference between him and Kyrie.
yeah.
he also has quite a few burner accounts, but I think he can live with that if he brings what he brings on the
Yeah,
floor.
he's an emotional dude for sure. But
Yeah.
Yeah, they all are.
But a
little thin
hypothetical
skin.
Blazers move, right? Like the hardest road could go back to where he should have been drafted. Dame and him, you know, come on. Dame could get in his ear. I remember Kevin Durant tweeting about Dame during that crazy playoff game that the Blazers lost.
Yeah, when he went off for
stunts.
like, what do you have, 60 or whatever?
Yeah, and
55?
Kevin Durant tweeted that it was like an out-of-body emotional experience, and he's like, so you know Kevin Durant knows he's talented, so...
Out of body experience watching CJ dribble the ball off his foot out of bounds and Robert Covington missing dunks.
Yeah, well...
Sorry to hurt you.
I'm
Like,
kind of
I'm
pieing in the
putting a
sky.
knife in.
I know. That game still hurts me on the inside.
Check
But
it.
Pacers pick is in, and my prediction is Mathurin.
Really, they're saying like Jay Billis has Shaedon Sharpe is the best available. I think that'd be a bit of a blow to the Blazers.
Yeah, then what do you do?
Freaking probably Daniels. I think I'd rather have him than Mathurin or who's the other one?
It's
Duran?
Mathurin or...
Griffin is who I was thinking of.
I don't want Griffin. Not at all. I
Yeah,
could see the Blazers trading.
I'd say Sharp is at the top of my list and Daniels is number 2 probably.
Yeah, if we got one of those two guys, it would be pretty good.
But honestly, I think we should trade it. I still think we should probably try to go for a veteran forward.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see.
They might draft and then trade. You know,
That's what I was going to say. Even if we
Toronto
draft
wants
somebody
one of them
now,
specifically.
we could still trade like a month into the future or maybe just an hour into the draft. We don't know. So we're going to have to keep an eye on what happens after we, Woj might have a little bomb as it drops, or you might say, 10 picks later, yeah, the Raptors want him for like OG, we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Starting here, we'll.
I'd
see
rather
the
have
Blazers.
Anunoby than either one of those guys, but pick is in, Pacers.
And there it
Mathurin,
is.
there's
We got
Sharp,
another
right?
one.
Sharp
sitting
lining
there.
up for the Blazers.
Yep, and we kind of knew this was happening.
I
too.
think I've heard rumors that they gave him a draft day guarantee too, so I don't think they'll probably pass up on him.
Unless they're drafting for someone else. Unless they're drafting for another team.
True.
I think that part of it might have been to hype up and say Shaedon Sharpe's really good. You guys should trade up and get him because we're taking him. kind of mind games, but also I do think Sharpe has a lot of potential.
The Raptors are like, it's Gary Trent 2.0.
Well, Gary Trent, yep. Another Blazer of the past. Should we check and see if we still got film for the Blazers part? Or should we even start a new video so we're sure that we get it filmed?
Still recording.
Seems like mine's working.
You know, it's fine with me. It's whatever. As you leave this part in the video and we don't cut it out and I'm just talking.
Yeah, I'm not cutting any of this. I'm not editing this video.
That's fine. We don't have to.
This was supposed to be a live reaction, so we're keeping the live reactions in.
Thanks, YouTube.
It's just not live. Yeah.
Thanks, YouTube. You apparently have to schedule your own channel to be live streamed, or else they don't let you.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a...
Come on.
Oh, nice Beavers logo right there.
Oh, what a...
Matthew just dunking all over the...
So, I'm interested. So, the Blazers are officially on the clock. 5 minutes. If the clock runs all the way to 0...
They're on the phone.
Yeah.
Mr. Joe Cronin's on the phone.
100%.
Who wants it? Who wants it?
Seriously, that's literally what I think is going to happen.
Can you think of any other forwards that are like out there available that other than Anunoby?
That I can think of that we know of? No.
Yeah, I can't really think of too many other ones.
That's Matherin's comparison is OG.
Oh, okay. They're like showing Anunoby clips. I'm like, what just happened?
No. But we'll see. I mean, there's always
honestly Shade. Like, even if we don't trade him, it might still be fun to have. I kind of feel like if we do draft him, we might trade Simons though. It seems weird to have both of those guys. I mean,
it's kind of what I.
It might work. I mean, you can look at like the Warriors. You know, they're guard heavy for sure, but
you want to keep the development pipeline going.
Yeah.
You know? So I mean, it's a smart plan to keep adding to your young core as well, but you want to focus on one, you know, like which way are you going? When are you trying to compete now?
Yeah.
Right there? So
yeah, I sort of think that they should probably trade one of those guys, either one of these young guys or whoever we draft, or Simons for another sort of veteran forward. But
Kevin Durant.
Yeah, there you go.
No, that's not happening.
Now, what would we do with Josh Hart?
I want to keep
Hart no matter what.
Yeah, I want to keep Hart too.
100%.
I think he fits perfectly
with
with Lillard. Yeah, as far as a backcourt partner, he seems like a good match for Lillard.
I agree.
A lot of defense, a lot of athleticism, all that kind of stuff.
So as we check the rumor mill really quick, I don't know.
Colton's on Reddit?
No, Blazers.
Blazers
is the leading place for news.
Reddit alert.
Well, you got to keep up with the Woj bombs, right?
Yeah, someone should get Woj's Twitter
pulled up.
Yeah.
We're on a commercial break right now. The Blazers clock is still counting down.
So I need to ask you guys some very serious questions. Did you watch the Kenobi finale last night?
I did watch the Kenobi finale.
I haven't seen it yet. Did it live up to the hype?
I won't spoil it to our audience. I'm not gonna say anything. I'll wait until.
You're not even gonna say if you liked it or not. Oh wow, there's a lot of hesitation.
It had some high highs and some low lows. There was, just like the rest of the series, there was some definite hits that I really liked.
How was Rava's redemption angle? Did she smile in the episode at all? Like
you're gonna
have Kylo Ren.
You're gonna have to watch and find out. I want to hear your opinion.
There, I'll watch it here soon, ladies and gentlemen. I will watch it.
But in the meantime, just know that Disney Star Wars is the greatest thing that's ever happened.
Disney Plus in general is just one of the most amazing inventions of our time.
Disney, if you're listening.
Right up there with the 8th season of Game of Thrones. Just beautiful, beautiful art being made by some of the best creative minds of our generation.
Well, before we see this pick live, do we have any predictions?
Shaedon Sharpe.
Final predictions.
Yeah, I think there's a really good chance that we're going to draft Sharpe, even if we do end up moving him later.
Yeah.
It looks like that's probably what's going to happen. I'm sure that Cronin's on the phone, trying to see if he can make something happen with Anunoby or someone like that.
If he gets like Thibault for nothing though, then he might not go after another forward. He might be satisfied with getting Grant and Thibault.
Yeah, and looks like all's kind of quiet on the Thibault front. It was just an interesting thing to happen right before the draft that there was rumblings that the Blazers were willing to try and trade for Thibault.
Woj, a minute ago.
Don't spoil it.
The Blazers
Don't
are
spoil
focused on Kentucky's Shaedon Sharpe at number 7.
Oh,
They're
see?
focused.
Focusing in.
They got laser vision for. They only have eyes for Shaedon.
Well, yeah, apparently they promised him a draft, so
Yeah.
they must have seen some stuff they really liked.
Dame was at his workout.
Baby Kobe,
Yeah.
like you said, right?
I mean,
That
It's
was
tough to
you.
compare
So, the
people.
Blazers pick is in.
and that was used almost the whole clock.
Yeah.
Magic fans are booing the Blazers for whatever reason.
They're like, we hate Banchero. What?
All right, here we go.
Yeah.
There it is.
Shaedon Sharpe to
Sharpe.
the Blazers. He
Sharpe.
doesn't look surprised.
Sharply dressed guy. So now we got to watch the highlight package from high school and say, all right, this is going to translate.
And see what his ridiculous, overblown comparisons are.
Kobe Bryant. Mama, there goes that.
Number 1 recruit in ESPN 2022 100
Yeah.
before enrolling. Man of mystery.
Man of mystery. Nice Austin Powers reference. Wow.
Wow, and then the
Queen
Queen.
Elizabeth. Just because he's Canadian? Is that the reason why?
Yeah, wow. We got Canada.
We got Ryan Gosling up in here. This has been an interesting video package so far.
Then we have not seen a single highlight.
Yeah.
We've just seen a little.
Just pictures of Queen Elizabeth and Ryan Gosling.
Ooh. He's very explosive. Very explosive.
Explosive
Good
defender,
shooter.
maybe.
Yeah, he's got size.
Shot creator is his NBA tool. That's what it says here. More Austin Powers references.
Almost a 7-foot wingspan.
And
That's
he's
pretty
over
crazy.
6'5" as a guard. That's something we've been missing for a long time.
Yeah,
He's a
we've been-
guard
We've
who's
been
not
flush with
6'2".
6'3", 6'2"
Yeah.
guards.
Yep. Ooh,
Nice
that's a
hat.
Nice, fresh Blazer hat.
He's not putting on a Raptors hat yet.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that in the end, we'll see what happens. A trade could still happen down the line, but maybe Masai Ujiri wanted too much.
Mhm.
That he wanted to kind of rob Mr. Trader Joe, and we just didn't want it. So
Yeah.
we'll have to stay tuned and see what happens. But for now, Sharp is a Blazer,
Yeah.
and we all kind of predicted it
Yep. So that's what we did with our 7th pick.
so far.
Yeah, up to this point. I honestly think they'll probably keep him.
I like the move. Swing for the fences.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, seems high risk, high reward, which is an interesting move for the Blazers to make, but I get it.
Well, and if, Dame was at the workout and saw some things he liked, I mean, it never hurts, like you said, to keep the development mill going.
Pipeline.
If we add him, put him under Anthony and Dame's wing,
Nice Anthony Bennett, Kelly Olynyk comparison.
No, it's
Andrew Wiggins,
no,
Nick
it's two,
Stauskas.
it's two Canadian players
I
in the
know.
same draft.
I don't like it. I don't like what they're doing here. They're comparing him here to Kelly Olynyk and Nick Stauskas.
Only that he's Canadian. Who's the best Canadian player of all time?
I don't really even know. I can't think of too many. other
Andrew
than-
Wiggins.
Yeah, Wiggins
Yeah,
is
Brady Wiggins. Kirby's finals
best
MVP.
Canadian NBA players. Wow, that was the first suggestion. Tristan Thompson. Oh, Jamal Murray. Oh, Steve Nash. That's probably good.
Oh wow!
Answer.
Yeah, obvious.
Steve Nash.
I thought he was like from South Africa or something like that. I mean, I don't think he's South African, but he might have been born there. Yeah, Johannesburg. How did I know that? Good question.
You're smart. Now we got to listen to Kendrick Perkins talking about how that fits in.
He moved to
because he's in
Saskatchewan when he was 18 months old.
Wow, you should give us the whole Steve Nash.
Nash was born in Johannesburg, South Africa, to a Welsh mother, Jean, and an English father, John, on 7 February 1974. His family moved to Regina, Saskatchewan when he was 18 months old before settling in Victoria, British Columbia. He therefore holds British as well as Canadian citizenship. Should I keep going? Before his family
No.
settled in... Okay. Fair. Alright, do we even care what's happening now?
I'm interested to see what happens with the
Just waiting for
Pelicans.
picks.
The Pelicans being on the clock right now.
They're just gonna draft a CJ replacement.
No, I think that they'll go with whatever guard they
Daniels?
can find. Maybe, yeah.
That might not be bad. Yeah,
he's number 1 on Jay Billis's best available, and then AJ Griffin. I'm glad we're gonna end up with Griffin too.
Yeah. AJ Griffin.
I honestly
is
think
a
this
big
is
red
probably
flag.
like best case scenario for the Blazers getting Sharp.
Unless one of the top picks fell or Keegan Murray fell, then that would have been better. But yeah, I
guess
agree.
not best case scenario, best realistic case scenario available.
Yeah. We'll see what happens. But I think it's worthwhile to kind of tune in and watch in case there are talks on the backside brewing, because we don't know
Yeah.
what's going on yet. And
It
There's
seems
still
like
could
it
be-
usually kind of takes the team picks before
I would
real
get-
trades start coming in.
I think what is smart for us to do is get that Woj Twitter
it's up,
pulled
it's
up and
up.
then just constantly refresh.
It's he was spot on with the Blazers are focused on. Australia's Dyson Daniels stands at the top of the New Orleans draft board at number
There
8.
it is. So that's what we're saying.
pick is in.
Kirby's gonna spoil it.
Daniels. God, Woj is always right.
He has all the answers.
Why are we even watching this? We should just be refreshing Woj's Twitter feed.
So that's an interesting pick for New Orleans. Yeah, definitely pairs pretty well with CJ, I think. And, if they have a healthy Zion coming up,
Zion, have you seen pictures
Yeah,
of Zion?
supposedly he really took
He's
it to
ripped.
heart, and he's
Yeah.
like ready to come back
yeah.
and crush the league between his hands. So.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. He looks ripped.
Until he crushes his knee under his body weight.
I don't know, man. I think all the eating jokes have gotten to him.
I think he was pissed. Yeah, I think he got upset.
I'm gonna Google pictures of him.
And I heard that CJ was trying to get Dame to come join the party. I don't think that's gonna happen. But
CJ, where did you hear that from?
I just heard that yesterday.
CJ, get out of here. Yeah.
Come down for some
You're
Southern
gonna start
cooking.
getting booed every time you come back to Portland if you keep running your mouth.
Dang. Well, I liked Daniels as a prospect. It'll be interesting to see how he fits in. I think you're right. Like, with CJ not being as much of a distributor, and they have a longer, good defender in Daniels now to slot in next to him, along with like Herb Jones, Ingram. That's a scary
The
team.
devastating Jose Alvarado.
Grand Theft Alvarado. Come on. No, their team.
I love his move of hiding over on the bench and
Yeah.
then coming and stealing the ball from behind.
Their team is scary. I think
It all comes down to if Zion is.
It's funny how
gonna
I just
play.
can't envision the Pelicans being a successful franchise.
I'm shooting my shot. They're going to be a top 4 team in the West this year.
Wow. Yeah, I can see it. I mean, bringing in CJ that's not a slouch move. I mean, he's a high caliber player with a lot of playoff experience.
He's like Dame though, needs to be surrounded by like size and defense, which,
which
it
it
seems
seems like
they're-
that's what they
they're
did.
doing.
Yeah. I mean, they started to look pretty decent toward the end of last year when they hadn't even really had a chance to build chemistry yet, and they didn't have Zion. They started to look like they had some potential. So yeah, they're definitely a team I have an eye on, and I like watching CJ do well. So
It's funny, I'll probably root against them forever. I don't want to see CJ succeed outside of the Blazers.
Oh, I was rooting so hard against CJ
Same.
and leading up to the playoffs because it's like he was like hitting every contested shot, and then right the second the Blazers pick gets ripped away, he sucks in the playoffs.
he did.
It's like, of course
He looked
did.
like he's looked for the last couple of years in the playoffs. Just
Of course
he's kind of
plays-
like mini Aldridge. He just like shortens up his shot, starts choking in the crunch time situation.
Hey,
Just like literally passes the
remember
ball
that
right to
series
the other team.
against the Rockets?
He
with
had 2 good
Aldridge?
games. 2 good
Two
games.
amazing games.
And then he completely fell off the map. He was terrible for the rest of that series. It was all Lillard. And Wesley Matthews, too, his lockdown defense on Harden.
Yeah, I don't know. Aldridge, yeah, he had some highs. And
He
some
did.
lows
He had
in the
like
playoffs.
45 for both of those games, and then after that, he
And like
couldn't
19.
find him.
The series against the Grizzlies, he was awful. He was MIA, and then he
It wasn't like the
flew
whole
home
team, basically.
by himself. Yeah, that was rough.
What do you think's going to happen with LaMarcus at this point? You think he's done?
It's an interesting situation with him. I don't know if Brooklyn's really the spot for him.
Doesn't seem to be working out too well, especially if they're about to go into full rebuild mode.
He's gonna get signed for the MLE to like Golden State or some annoying
It'll be a
thing like that.
vet probably with his heart issues and everything if he still plays.
Yeah.
He might try to go back to the Blazers for like the farewell
Mm-hmm.
if we can get other players around that.
I'd take him.
Yeah.
Backup center.
This would maybe be the year to do it because we're probably not going to make a championship run this year. But in the next 3 or 4 years, I don't really want to be hamstrung with, like, unless he's just literally sitting the bench then. But yeah.
Or he's in the Horford spot.
Yeah. Yeah. This would be a good year to do it if we were going to.
Spurs on the clock now. Who's left? AJ Griffin, Jalen Duren. This mock draft has a Duren.
I think the Spurs might go out of the box.
Let's see what Woj has to say.
And take any kind of a wing like Malachi Branham or Ousmane Dang.
Nothing from Woj yet. You think so? Go with their typical get a Euro?
Well, just like guys with
Get a
potential
Euro
that they
route.
feel like they can develop that are long, athletic guys, rather than take anyone's mocked.
They draft
Slot.
Manu Ginobili Jr.
Not in the first, I mean the second round, like the original.
Yeah, like the 51st overall or something.
Yeah.
Honestly, we should have drafted Shaq's son. I don't know why we didn't.
I don't even know if he's medically cleared.
He's another
to play.
Shaq, bro. He's Shaq's son. Why wouldn't he be as good as Shaq?
I think he's like 216, 215 pounds, or 6'10", 215 pounds.
Another Shaq.
Wow, their
They're
clock.
taking some time.
Yeah, they let the clock run all the way down.
Because they're currently trading for
30 seconds.
Damian
Collins.
Lillard.
They could be, they could be trading Murray for Collins. Yeah, that's a rumor
Which
that was.
I don't know why they would do that.
Yeah, it seems kind of silly to me.
They'd have to get a lot with him, and maybe they just don't think
Trae
he can
Young.
be the centerpiece. Yeah, ice Trey.
That would be a pop move, right?
Pick
there.
is in. They finally
Yeah, really
figured
all
it out.
quiet on the Woj front so
Yeah,
far.
he's not-
Is he not spoiling his pick because it's a trade?
He
He's
doesn't-
trying to work it out.
He doesn't know. He doesn't have
Oh.
any friends. And
Jeremy.
Sochin.
Yeah, see, he in there.
They have
He's
him.
nowhere on
They
there.
have him way down the board.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. See, they don't go with the normal pick. They went with a wing, like I said. I didn't say his name, but
It's because Popovich has a long history of building a system and
How much
slotting
longer is
people
he
in
going to be there? I wonder.
15, 20 years.
no, I think he's almost done.
I thought he was almost done 15, 20 years ago. He just keeps going.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I think he.
I mean, knowing him and knowing how that team's constructed, whoever replaces him is probably going to be a mini Pop too. So
it's just Spurs
maybe they will
dynasty
just keep
for-
He
it
does
going,
have quite
you know?
the coaching tree that's around the league at this point.
Budenholzer,
Yeah.
NBA champion
That
coach.
was the
Budenholzer.
big name that I was thinking of. I don't know if I can really think of any others. Greg Popovich coaching tree. Yeah, that's the fourth result. Google knows exactly what I'm thinking.
They heard you.
Yeah,
Come on, give me names.
The
here.
algorithm.
Tree right there.
Oh, there's a nice picture. An actual tree.
that's Sharpe.
Here, I'm gonna click the actual tree. Oh, give us real names. Is that Jenkins?
Yeah.
Jenkins.
Doc?
Doc? Oh, Udoka. That's
Steve
another.
Kerr, Monty,
She's a bunch of champions. Budenholzer,
Mike Brown.
Nick Brown. Who's this guy? Looks familiar. I can't think of his name.
Is that Sean Marks?
Oh,
It
maybe.
is, yeah.
Man, I have no idea who this guy
He's
is.
not really a coach, but
He's building teams.
Yeah, real successful teams. What with
Yeah.
Durant and Kyrie. I think they would have been better just keeping D'Angelo Russell and Jared Allen.
Speaking of D'Angelo, I heard the Wolves want to move on from him.
I heard that too.
Yeah.
Jeez, you can't find a
I think he's like
landing spot.
washed. I don't know. What has he done in the last couple years
Yeah.
that you've even heard
Or in
about
his
him?
entire career, to be honest, except for that one
That
year.
Brooklyn
in
year, he
Brooklyn.
was good.
Jeremy Sochin, Woj always knows.
Wow, what a Kyle Kuzma look
Woj
like.
knows. Yeah, in this picture he has blonde dreads. It looks like he got rid of those. Pops shaved those dreads and he can be on our team.
No, I think he shaved them before. I think that was an old picture.
Yeah, at this point, I can't imagine Popovich trying to tell anybody what to do with their appearance. He's pretty supportive of his players.
Yeah.
That's kind of been his way these last few years.
Woj is already moving on to the next spot. He already knows the next pick.
Does
so,
he really?
Yeah.
Maybe this will be a quick one.
Wow, he is on top of it.
I wonder what the conversations with him really look like.
There's like,
He's like, give me that information and I'll pump you up in my next article.
he has like a gun to their family's heads. He's like, tell me now.
Yeah, he's the connection man.
Duran's fallen a little bit, although there was some mocks that had him lower or something.
Again, you're not a lot of teams are going to
Yeah.
trade a lottery or use a lottery pick on a center. I think that the Hornets are the team to look out for.
For Duran.
For Duran, yeah, because they really need a center, and they have 2 picks, 13 and 15. So, I mean, if you use one on a center, you use the other one on any other player you want or trade it. So, an interesting thing I thought about for the Blazers' perspective is the Hornets were looking to clear some cap room. Would you guys take this move? The Hornets said, no.
Damian.
They're trying to clear cap room to get Bridges signed. So would you take Hayward and 15 in like a salary dump? We'd be stuck with Hayward's salary, but Hayward's still a good player when he's on the floor. Would you take Hayward and 15 but kind of clog up our cap?
For nothing?
Well, maybe just for salary matching.
Keon
Bledsoe.
Johnson.
Yeah, like a couple maybe young guys.
What's the Eric Bledsoe?
Yeah, Bledsoe for like getting the salary and maybe Keon. Would you?
Boy, that's a tough question.
Because you'd get a pick.
I'd probably
and
take
Hayward, and Hayward is good, and he's the 3. He fits.
I think you sort of got to gamble, and you got to gamble on veterans to try to put around Lillard at this point. So I'd probably take it.
Yeah, I think you have to gamble with people who are on that timeline, and Hayward can look really good when he's healthy, and his injury problems are kind of interesting too, because they're not like. It's not like he has a bad ankle or something that just keeps getting hurt. It's like these massive, catastrophic freak injuries where he like goes 10 feet in the air, falls down, and shatters a bone. It's like,
white people problem.
like, hopefully this isn't something that'll keep happening to him. So yeah, I wouldn't.
But we've thought that the last 3, 4, 5 times.
I think he's just getting to that point where he might.
How old is he? Like 30?
Yeah, I think he's around there. He has a big contract, but the cap's going up every year. The salary cap goes up, and then it adds another pick. I don't know if the Hornets would do something like that, but it's something to consider because they want Bridges, and they don't have enough cap room, to kind of just maneuver everything. So I think it's something to look out for.
Just the idea of getting the 15th draft pick, I think, is kind of exciting. Like another, good young player to add to the mix.
Duran.
And Hayward, could be good. If nothing else, Hayward could come in and maybe just give you a few shots a game, that could make a big difference.
Well, then we could get Shaq's son.
We need
15th.
We need the depth.
And we like Shaq. We'd get Shaq.
And O'Neal, for sure. You'd get an O'Neal.
Yeah.
But maybe not a Shaq.
A Reef.
Yeah.
Reef.
Mark
Williams.
Great Barrier.
That'd be interesting. Mark Williams. You don't want anyone near the height of 7 feet, do you?
I do. I think I'd rather use the exceptions that we have this offseason on a slightly more proven backup big.
Who can shoot.
Just because bigs take a while to develop. And if we're trying to
Also, he doesn't shoot at all.
Yeah. What about Mo Bamba? I'm not saying that as a meme. I'm being serious. Mo Bamba can shoot, and he's an athletic young big who gets stuck in Orlando.
I just saw something today that was talking about how the Magic wouldn't take Chet #1 because they couldn't afford another Mo Bamba. That was funny.
I think Mo Bamba. I mean, you send a player to Orlando, they might not turn out how they would in any other spot. You don't know what Mo Bamba would be outside of Orlando.
Magic.
I think there's a bunch of examples of that. Players that we still don't know how good they're actually going to be in their career because they're still in Orlando or they're still in Sacramento.
Like Harkless and Aminu, right? That's what the Blazers
Harkless was better on the Blazers than he was in Orlando. I think.
Definitely. Yeah, I mean,
He did have a ceiling, though.
they didn't carry us to a championship by any means, but that was the best team we've had in a long
How sad
time.
is that?
Yeah.
When you're
Since the
starting
Wesley
rings,
Matthews, Nick Batum days.
That was the good old days in this era. Oh, speaking of Shaq.
See,
Yeah.
it'll be just like that. We need to trade everything for Reef O'Neal. It's the move to make.
You heard it here first.
Colton, I have some trivia for you.
Okay, let's see it.
This is a question that stumped me and Riley. It was a trivia question that
It's gonna stump me.
for our trivia league.
Okay, let's hear it.
Do you know what the Maurice Podoloff Trophy is in the NBA?
Summer League.
No.
Okay, I don't know.
It's the MVP award.
Really?
It's named the Maurice Podoloff Trophy. Isn't that crazy? I had never heard of that.
I don't know if I...
We guessed Executive of the Year, and we did not get it. Oh,
Nice.
pick is in Wizards. Any predictions?
Johnny Davis.
Oh, yeah, we already know. Did Woj tell you that? Oh, I see the
Woj
Blazers
whispered.
down there. Oh, it's just no news.
Yeah.
Woj is just spoiling the whole draft.
As we move farther away from 7, I think it gets more likely that Sharpe stays, but I also think that something could go on down the line. Like, what if
I sort of
player
feel like
becomes
that.
available?
I sort of feel like it might be more likely that we move on from Simons at this point. Sign and trade.
I think it would be a smart decision.
You
I don't
it's
think we
gonna
will.
happen? It's a lot of guards to have. But I mean, I guess
Hart can.
I
play
guess you
three.
got Sharpe on a rookie contract, so it's not like you're committing tons of money to him. And I don't know what kind of deal Simons is gonna get, but
I
Sharpe
guarantee
can
he
make
gets at least 22, 23 million a year.
yeah, that's a steep price for another guard to put. Kind of a guy who does exactly what Lillard does, but
Yeah, I think it would make sense, but I don't think Sharpe's ready even for prime time yet, unless he's ahead of where we think he is. So you could
But
have
if
him
you
sitting
could get
and
like
developing. and
if you could get like a forward and have Lillard, Hart, that forward, Grant, and Nurkic, and then Sharpe and Watford and
off
our
the
boy
bench.
CJ Ellaby off the bench.
I swear, if CJ Ellaby puts on a jersey,
You don't want to
one more
watch him get his
time,
cardio, bro? He's getting his cardio.
That's
in.
exactly what he's doing. That's exactly what he's done.
He's running sprints.
He's missed more layups than I do, and that says a lot because I miss a lot of layups. The Knicks are on the clock. What are they gonna do
They're
with
gonna
Julius
nick.
Randle?
Nick's going Nick. I saw something on Twitter I think it was a mock draft that was saying that the Knicks were trying to. I can't even remember who they were talking, but they were talking to some other team trying to trade for a pick, and they're offering a bunch of players that nobody wants for this pick.
Yeah,
It's like that's basically the Knicks' whole roster.
Trey Burke and Nerlens Noel for picks. That's what all the Knick fans wanted, but that's not
Interesting how well Randall did when there was no crowd, and then as soon
and
as
no pressure.
as soon as the crowds came back, he kind of reverted back to his old.
Kind of seems like a terrible place to try to play basketball. To play for the Knicks. I mean, it just
like
the
the
fans
Sixers.
are horrible.
I just think it's
Sixers
James
are right
Dolan.
in that. Yeah, that's the main.
I don't know if
issue.
the fans are bad. I think that they actually want their team to win. They just can never do it because the one constant is their stupid owner.
I sort of think at this point there is a toxic fandom there, but it's because they've been so bad for so long. It's like they're like.
I mean, when you start
Imagine.
like constantly booing your team every time they miss a couple of shots, you're a pretty bad
It's
fan
not-
base.
not a good
That's
sign.
Philadelphia.
Yeah,
They both did that this last year.
Yeah.
yeah.
It's gross.
It would be a bummer to play at both of those places. I think. I mean, if you're winning, it's really exciting. But if you if you miss a few shots, you're suddenly getting booed. It's like
I think that
I thought you were supposed to be on.
there
my
was
side.
kind of a back and forth between Randall and the fan base, and that's why they were booing because they got pissed that Randall gave him a thumbs down or whatever.
because they were booing.
Randall has had a lot of problems with personality wise.
Yeah.
The last year he was sitting out of huddles, and that was starting to boil over, and it was making a lot of the fans pissed off basically. So I think that's why it got to a boiling point with the booing. But yeah, I can see. I mean, look at their lineup: Fournier, Rose.
Yeah, I don't want anything to do with any of it. I don't want any of their players, and I wouldn't want any of our players to play there.
I want
I'd
RJ
take
Barrett.
Derrick Rose off the bench.
I want RJ Barrett, but other than that, nah, I'm good.
Yeah, I don't know. He doesn't have the prettiest looking jump shot in the world,
It
but
doesn't matter. He's a good young player. I would take him in a heartbeat. He's a wing.
he's like the one guy that they're probably not going to give up.
Well, no, I know. I'm not saying trade for. I'm saying you guys said you wouldn't take any of the players on that team.
I
said I'd take Derrick Rose off the
True.
bench.
I just don't want any of that atmosphere or any of that culture in ours. Like cancer.
Yeah.
Riley, why don't you tell us a little bit about your thoughts and opinions on Ben Simmons?
Yeah, let's hear about it.
Speaking of cancer, is that what you're saying?
Speaking
Riley
of a great
does
player, we
not
can
like
trade
Ben
for.
Simmons.
I just,
He's jealous of the Kendall Jenner.
He just doesn't seem very interested in playing professional basketball in the NBA, So I'm just not something that I'd really want to bring on to the team.
Nick's pick is in. Time for is it in New York? They're going to start booing as soon as they announce who it is. That's what they have definitely done in every year. But when they drafted, who was it? Amon Shumpert, I think.
Porzingis.
Yeah.
No,
the French
Woj.
dude. Oh, is there a
They are
trade?
booing. Woj said it's a trade with OKC,
Oh,
who will select Dang.
for Holmgren.
Yeah. Yeah. No, OKC was at pick 12, so there goes the Dort trade back rumor that the Blazers were going to trade back for Dort unless they
You think they'll get Dort and the 12 back for him?
I don't
Is that
know.
your prediction?
I don't know.
Oh, it
See
says the
what
Thunder
Woj
will
says.
send multiple first-round picks to New York.
Yeah, so probably 12 in the
What
future.
Woj said.
Which is, they're going to move up one spot and trade multiple firsts. That's probably a good move for the Knicks.
Yeah, exactly.
I've heard a lot of people think Dang could be he's a project player, but he has a lot of potential. Like, he's a big
Nick
wing.
Batum 2.0. French. Small forward.
That's the only thing that it takes to win.
Just French.
Yeah. No, I've heard people are high on Dang. His potential. Oh,
Hi.
Woj. What is Woj saying?
The trade that he just got done tweeting it.
I like how he's got two different earpieces going on because he's getting feeds from his getting fed by
looking at
his
his
assistant.
phone, looking at his.
Literally, that's what he's doing.
Yeah.
As they have each of the GM's families held at gunpoint. Tell us what you're doing.
Speaking of Nicholas Batum, I was hearing that he's probably going to be on the move.
Shakalaka?
Yeah, and maybe moving but not moving by staying in LA and switching to the Lakers.
Really?
Yeah.
So LeBron can yell at him.
Yeah, exactly.
Missing
That
shots.
does not seem like a super good fit
Le
for me,
GM.
but yeah, I guess. I mean,
Lakers are just desperate to
yeah,
get any
there's
sort
just
of...
not much that they can do. The Lakers are in a tough spot.
But if Westbrook gets more triple-doubles next year, then they'll win a championship.
Well, Nick Batum can come in and throw some triple doubles on the fire. 'Cause that's what wins titles, right?
The classic Nick Batum triple-double.
Yeah.
But you see it as often as a meteor.
The 5x5.
Oh, yeah.
5 steals, 5 blocks, and Nurk had one too. That's crazy.
Euros on the Blazers. Where's Rudy Fernandez? Sergio Rodriguez. Anybody?
The Spanish Armada.
they're pretty fun to watch. It's exciting to seeing some of their lob. Oh, Chet Holmgren getting the interview.
So do we know who OKC is picking for the trade?
Woj has not let us know yet.
Once Woj knows, we'll talk about
Yeah.
it.
Who's best available? AJ Griffin. I kind of see him falling.
Yeah.
I think he already has fallen. I think they had,
What is this, number 12?
Yeah, I think they had him, at least on the Billis board, he's been the number one for a while.
This mock has him at 14, but I think he's kind of been all over the place a little bit.
If we've learned one thing tonight, it's that the J. Billis best available does not tell us much.
J.
Yeah, I don't think he's necessarily making predictions. I think it's just like,
It's his ranking
Yeah.
of the players, which I just disagree that AJ Griffin's that good. He was like a one skill wonder, and it was shooting. That's it.
I read somewhere that he was it defense? Something like that.
He's not a good defender from what I saw in college.
Oh, I think it was that he can put the ball on the floor and create, basically.
I didn't see a lot of that in it either.
I'm glad we didn't end up with that with him,
Griffin.
you know, based on what we were talking about. It just doesn't seem like what the Blazers need.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Interesting, though. We'll see what happens with these players.
I guess that's a first trade, right? Mm-hmm. There hasn't been a lot of movement so far.
Everything stayed pretty pat.
Yeah, other than Paolo going number 1 overall, which was...
That was a pretty big shift.
That was kind of exciting to start the draft.
I heard Vegas actually... oh, wow. Woj says that the Thunder still have the 12th pick. It isn't part of the Knicks trade. So the Knicks just nicked so bad.
So, yeah, they
traded. Did they just get multiple future firsts?
Yeah, probably.
Wow.
What a bungle. That's a lottery pick. I mean,
yeah.
I guess they maybe if they were unprotected in the future and they just think that the Thunder are still going to be bad, we'll have to wait and see what the final details are. But.
So the Thunder are getting a lot out of the lottery. They're getting basically 3 lottery picks. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
2, 11, 12. And didn't you say they have 15 too, or no?
No, Charlotte has 15 and 13.
Okay.
Well, that's exciting for OKC.
You were talking about how they're never going to get better. Yeah. They're getting a lot of skill here.
Draft Shaq's son. Shaq's son.
It's still, we're still probably not looking at it being a huge difference this year.
Shaq's son. Tyson. Jordan. Game 6. John Collins remaining with the Hawks. Riley's major talking point of the day is... Looks like it's being resolved. Oh, it smells like Snoop Dogg's here.
That's crazy that they didn't give up 12 for that. I mean...
Yeah, I guess it doesn't say anything here in the tweets about them doing that. We just all kind of assumed.
Yeah, so what are the Knicks thinking?
OKC wants Jalen Williams with number 12. Is he another 7 foot, 190 pound white guy, or?
I don't know. I feel like that's kind of a high pick for that guy.
Jalen Williams doesn't look white. Is our feed still up?
They're talking about Chet keeping his number.
What is his number?
34.
Is that Shea's number?
No.
I don't know. No, I think he's like number 2 or something.
Okay. Yeah, he's number 2.
He's talking about what he's going to have to give up to keep his number.
Yeah. He's going to...
Shaq's Tyson.
You're welcome.
Game 6. The pick is in. 7 foot, 190 pound white guy.
Jalen Williams.
I don't even see him on
He
my
doesn't
board.
look. He doesn't look that excited.
Number 17. He's like, oh,
yeah, it's kind of, I mean,
time to go play with.
He's gonna. I mean, guys. Josh Giddey and Dort and Shai are already there, so
yeah,
it's a lot of guards. I mean, Portland has a lot of guards, and we took a bigger guard too, but.
Yeah, he doesn't look super stoked.
Maybe he's just trying to hold back emotion. Who knows?
People process their emotions in different
ways.
Maybe
as Kirby was now he's smiling. Maybe Kirby was saying, he's like, I have to go play in Oklahoma City. That's not what I want to do.
For just a few $1 million, gosh.
Yeah, I know. Right?
They don't even have Eminem in Oklahoma City.
They don't listen to it there at all. They refuse to put it on the speakers.
Maybe you could meet Garth Brooks or whatever.
Well, I think that definitely we should at least continue monitoring until Charlotte's second pick, and then see where we're at after that. Because
sounds good to me. Was that's number 15?
Yeah.
That's basically out of the lottery, first half of the first round.
Yeah. I was just gonna say we've got down to our last couple of lottery picks here. So, is any big surprises for you? except for the first.
Honestly, this might have been one of the bigger surprises so far. This guy seems to have jumped up a few spots, Jalen Williams.
And the Knicks being the Knicks. The first overall pick was a surprise.
Mm-hmm.
I heard there were rumblings in Vegas, which Vegas somehow always knows this crap.
Mobsters. They're
That
mobbed
Paolo
up.
was like highest ranked chance to go to number 1. So I don't know how they figured that out, but
Mobbed up.
There must have been some things must have happened. You know, I heard kind of some strange rumblings about Chet having, you know, maybe kind of withheld some information in his physical and stuff like that. So
I think he didn't want to go to the Orlando Magic.
He actually weighed in at 185 pounds instead of 190.
yeah, so I don't know exactly what was going on with all that, but it kind of started to feel like maybe he wasn't as much of a sure number 1 starting a few days ago, you know.
It is interesting. I didn't really know this about him, that he has like never been injured in his career, which is kind of interesting because that's the thing that everyone is afraid about, is him being injured. But
yeah, I mean, it would be really interesting and exciting to see someone with his like physical gifts come in and not have injury problems and be steady. Like it would change the league a little bit. It's something we haven't really seen happen. You know, the unicorn potential. You know, it's always just been potential, unrealized potential.
That's everybody's favorite word.
Yeah. So it would be, you know, maybe someday we'll actually get to see someone really turn out.
Yeah. I mean, there's
that
been
skill set.
be good news for the next year's projected number 1 overall pick too, Victor Wembanyama, because he's like a 7'2". Ball handler.
Yeah, that guy is going to be spectacularly good.
That's what everyone's saying.
Everybody's mocking him to be the best prospect since like LeBron.
I wouldn't mock him, bro.
Yeah, I know. Well, me too, but I mean, he's gonna be
says he's 229 here too, which is
It's better than
a
190.
little thicker.
Yeah, he's got all the skills already: shooting, passing, ball handling, defense, rebounding.
Looking like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Yeah, he's crazy.
Or Olajuwon or something.
So I think there's going to be a tank race for him with a couple more teams.
Blazers.
Blazers are not going to end up with
They'll be able to tank better than they did last. They learned how to tank last year. They'll just do it better.
They'll just ship everybody off that they acquire and have Shaedon Sharpe as the only player on the floor.
So that he can establish a good losing culture. That's what you want for a rookie.
It works well with the Kings, doesn't it?
Yeah, you know the Magic or something stupid will end up with that guy, or the Cavs will get their like 4th number 1 overall pick in the last 15 years,
or the Lakers. The Lakers will just miss the playoffs, have the 14th overall pick, and then get that the number 1 overall pick with like a 0.5% chance.
What an amazing! No one saw this
Yeah.
coming. Such low chances. Oh, they're talking about Bridges.
Yeah.
AJ Griffin's still sitting there as the number 1.
I think Duran's going here, and I don't know where AJ Griffin's going to go.
He keeps dropping.
Have you checked with Woj?
I mean, there's going to be a point where somebody takes him. Like,
Nothing from Woj.
he is falling. He had red flags for me. He seems slow-footed. Could only shoot, and that was like his main skill.
Duran, is that what we're talking
No,
about? Oh, Griffin.
Griffin. Duran has a lot of potential, but it's just hard to draft a big that doesn't have a lot of skills that high in the draft.
They should have drafted a number 1 overall and then let him walk for nothing. That's the Suns' strategy. Creating a good basketball
and
team.
Woj backs me up with Memphis. This is Jalen Duran going 13. I figured that's how it go. I think that Charlotte's probably really excited because they need a big. They have Mason Plumlee starting, and we know how that goes with Mason Plumlee.
Who's their coach going to be this year? Because they hired Kenny Atkinson, right?
See if they can get another.
And then he bounced.
See if they can convince another Golden State assistant to come on over.
Why would they? Everyone from Golden State just wants to run it back.
Where's Luke Walton? What's Luke Walton doing?
I mean, Mike D'Antoni maybe was the guy. They should hire LeVar Ball.
Yeah,
He can coach his son.
That's primetime TV right there.
LeVar Ball and Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
playing
Everybody would tune in.
playing 1-on-1 before the game starts.
And LaMelo.
He's like, Hornets never lost. Never lost.
It was all the refs.
Yeah. I think they should do it. That would be breaking news for sure.
They have to change their name to the Charlotte Big Ballers. though, if they're gonna do
The
that.
Charlotte Blue Balls.
Whoa.
Their pick is in.
This is a child-friendly channel.
Well, their jerseys are blue. Nice.
Woj always knows. Woj.
That should be his slogan. For
It should
his
be
Twitter.
his Twitter handle.
Yeah, Woj
Woj
always
knows.
Oh wow, the Pistons are acquiring Duren in
Oh.
a trade.
Oh, that means maybe they're out for Aiden.
Maybe, yeah. Yeah, if they're going after Duren,
Interesting.
they're probably not going to try to get Ayton too.
So they must have used their cap space. Maybe they got Hayward.
Damn.
Okay, so we got some surprises
Yeah,
coming in.
burn
Stay
some
tuned.
stuff.
You have to because this is a recorded video. It's not live.
We can't go anywhere.
That's actually pretty shocking to me.
Can't
I
be
thought
stuck
the
with
Hornets
us.
wanted Duren this whole time.
Apparently, they wanted Duren so they could send him to Detroit.
For
Well,
what? Oh,
that
my
has to mean that they won't be going for Ayton, I would think.
yeah.
I mean, that means where's Ayton going to go? Maybe Phoenix said, no, we're going to keep him.
No. There's no
Maybe.
way that would happen.
Maybe?
No, bro. No way.
Hey, Woj was talking about it yesterday that Phoenix wanted a sign and trade for Ayton.
I know. That's what I'm saying. That's what's
So,
going to happen.
I
We
know
all, we
you're-
all know that's going to happen.
I know you're against the process of them getting rid of
I'm
Ayton.
not against anything.
Yeah, you are.
I have no horse in this race.
You don't think it's going to happen.
I just can't wait till the Blazers trade Brandon Williams for Joel Embiid. That's what I'm waiting for the news to pop up here.
Yeah, I can't either.
Wow, Woj just took off.
Peace. I gotta go interrogate a family.
He's gonna tweet. He's gonna tweet or tweet. I can't talk.
One of his goons' guns actually accidentally went off, so he has to go clean up a mess. Come on, Woj. We need more information.
Yeah, seriously.
Do something, Woj.
I wonder. I'm assuming they had to give up or just let their cap space be used because they just got all that cap space.
Mhm.
So, what else could they have given up? I mean, maybe a future first, but why would they get Duren and then go after Ayton? They're
Yeah,
still
it doesn't
young.
really make any sense.
Oh, he deleted his tweet. No, I'm just kidding. Didn't.
I'm fake. I know. We're just constantly refreshing.
This is what it takes to be an NBA journalist, just refreshing Woj's Twitter feed. All the breaking news.
So that means Charlotte, I'm going to assume, is going to keep 15.
Mm-hmm.
But it'll be interesting to see what they do. They'll probably, maybe they go for Mark Williams.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of what you were talking about earlier, Kirby.
They do need a 7-foot guy who can shoot.
Yeah,
So,
it doesn't seem like the
Or maybe
Blazers
they'll
are
just
involved
get
in any of these.
sounds like it might potentially be a 3-team trade with Detroit, New York, and Charlotte.
Wow. Detroit wanted in on that action.
We'll see what happens with the final pieces, but definitely that was a surprise for me. That was one of the most surprising things
Mhm.
about this draft so far. I thought Charlotte really wanted a center, and Duren was.
Bro,
the
they're
best
happy
one.
with Plumlee.
Well, yeah, if they want him, keep him.
They are staying pat on Mason Plumlee.
I remember when, as Blazer fans always do, they would
Yeah, they're like,
overhype
"No!"
every player, and when we traded Plumlee, everyone's like, I can't believe we traded Mason Plumlee. I'm like,
There was a bunch
Mason
of pissed off
Plumlee
people.
was trash. I mean, not okay, Mason, if you're listening, you're
We
behind
beat
the
the
head.
some good
We beat the
memories.
Clippers on the back of Mason Plumlee, bro.
His behind the head dunks where he just dunked behind his head. Oh, yeah, I don't know. That's Mason Plumlee. Whatever happened to the other Plumlee
Plumlee's
brothers?
everywhere.
Yeah, what happened to him?
Plumlee's nowhere.
Looks like the Cavs pick is in.
Still waiting on some details on this trade.
Woj don't know.
Sounds like the Cavs are kind of looking maybe for
Oh,
shooting.
Cleveland is locked on Kansas's Oche Agabaji. The dude from Kansas who carried him last year, you know. You know what I'm talking about. God, did Woj have to take a piss or something? Where's
No,
he
he's trying to figure this trade out. I'm interested to see what it looks like.
He's in the back on the toilet on his
It's
phone.
probably
like,
one of the
"What's
most
going on?"
interesting things that happened. Really, was this trade?
Yeah,
3-team deal involving a couple of lottery picks. It's a big deal.
definitely.
You don't know what you're talking about, Jay Billis.
Yeah, he wasn't reading Twitter from Woj yet.
Billis is just refreshing.
He's like, it looks like he
Woj
just
is
reads
trying
it
to
word for word. He's like, he like steals Woj's thunder.
Breaking news.
Yeah, it's like looks like they're locked in. On.
Kansas is, and he can't pronounce his name either. Just like
Pick his man.
Listen, you'll see how to pronounce it. Ochai Abaji?
Yeah.
there was a G in that name. I didn't hear him
Agbaji.
say the G.
That makes sense. They were looking for some shooting and guard defense.
He was one of the better players in the tournament last year. He's definitely pretty polished.
Mhm.
One of the more polished players that's at this stage left, I think.
It's a pretty solid.
Except for
pick.
Shaq's son. I mean, it's Shaq.
Shaq's son. I think it's a great pick if they get rid of Colin Sexton or not. Yeah, Sexton, not Garland.
Pistons are sending the Hornets the 2025 first round pick via Milwaukee. Oh, Portland just got in here. Oh wait, no.
No, it was the Blazers pick that they
Yeah.
used to have, or the Milwaukee pick. That pick's been traded a lot.
Yeah, interesting.
Pistons are sending the Hornets the 2025 first round pick via Milwaukee in the Duran trade. That's the only pick that they traded, and they got a top 12 pick for it. There has to be more to that.
We could have gotten him. No,
Yeah,
I'd rather have Jeremy Grant.
There's been some interesting deals
Everyone's
so far this
valuing that
offseason.
2025
Yeah.
Bucks pick.
It's
For some
gonna
reason.
be
everyone.
trash.
Everyone thinks Giannis is gonna be retiring.
He's gonna be like 28 or 9 at that stage of his career. I'm pretty sure,
Yeah.
right in his prime. What a weird. If that's all they gave up.
So
for a lottery
basic-
pick.
So basically, they kind of traded
Jeremy Grant for Duran.
Is what Detroit did.
Yeah.
They got rid of Jeremy Grant and picked up Duran
Good
with the same
move.
pick.
I think it's a good move.
Pistons pistoning.
No, I think that's a great move. Grant didn't.
As a
fit
Blazers fan, of course you'd say.
No, I'm saying the Pistons
They
did
couldn't
good.
pay him. They didn't want to pay Jeremy Grant.
He doesn't
and
fit
they
their
don't have to pay
timeline.
Duran.
Yeah, now he's on the Cade timeline.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were talking about that yesterday about how it's interesting how the Pistons and the Blazers are kind of like in opposite spots where they have a young, 20-year-old point guard, and the Blazers have like a 30-year-old point guard, and it's like, all right, let's swap some assets here.
Yeah.
Let's try to get these timelines matched up.
Yeah. That makes sense. The Blazers need 30-year-old star players.
Mm-hmm.
And Detroit needs 18, 19, 20-year-old star players.
Gordon Hayward.
I think that's done.
Seems
Whatever
like,
Charlotte did,
yeah, Charlotte went a different way.
I still don't. Until we see the details of that trade, I don't understand it at all. And maybe we will never understand it.
It's not to be understood.
Well,
by
it
the
makes
likes of
sense.
us.
It makes sense from the Pistons' perspective.
Oh,
but-
100%.
It's interesting. Griffin's still on the board. He might fall all the way to that 46th pick for us.
Right?
Then we could end up with your favorite player.
At 46? Yeah, he would be my favorite player, I'm sure. But obviously, I mean, I was negative on him for a reason if the other GMs have let him drop from 5 to wherever he's going to end up, you know?
Yeah, like maybe a top 20 at this point.
Seriously.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what Charlotte does end up doing with this second pick.
I think they'll take Mark Williams.
Mm-hmm.
They
That
need
makes
a
sense.
big, and he's...
Bro, they're happy with Mason Plumlee.
If they don't take a big here, then maybe they are.
Maybe they see something in Plumlee that we don't. Maybe he's
that
really. in the
you
gym
guys
this
don't.
year.
I see. He's the center of the future for the Hornets. Come on.
I hope so. That would be hilarious.
Maybe there's pictures of him floating around looking just like Zion does in his pictures.
Or they're gonna re-sign Cody Zeller.
Put on 75 pounds of muscle.
They should do that.
We had a wonderful comment on YouTube telling us the Blazers need to re-sign Cody Zeller.
I believe Cody Zeller is the MVP of the Blazers.
Of course, bro.
Was the theme.
Let's go grab Freeland and
Right up there with CJ LB. LB.
I can't even joke about LB.
LB.
At least I can
If we
joke
could
about
have
Blevins.
an LB Zeller pick and roll, imagine the deadliness of that double-headed snake. That'd be. How are you gonna stop it? I don't see it being stopped, honestly, in professional.
When it comes
the
to
professional
the
level.
scrubs of the Blazers, I can joke about Blevins, but Ellaby was so eye-gougingly... Because you know Blevins is bad.
Eye-gouging.
But CJ Ellaby was just like, dude, this guy just missed 3 fast break layups in a row with his strong hand. How is this happening? How is this on the floor right
But
now?
bro, he's running fucking, what are they called, dead sprints or suicides? He was running suicides.
He tried really hard.
he
But
tries really
in
hard.
the end, it didn't matter.
Tried so
Exactly.
hard.
Quoting Linkin Park here.
Yes.
Okay, Charlotte's 15th pick is in.
Hopefully they get another Plumlee.
There's been some, there's been some good 15th picks. We could still be looking at stars of the future.
What was Jokic, like 42 or something like that?
Wow.
He's probably one of the best.
It really does look like that's all they're going to get, the Hornets, is that Bucks
41.
pick.
So close.
And that Bucks pick's only going to be, a late pick if Giannis is healthy. I really don't understand.
No, Giannis is retiring after next
Maybe.
season. Tremendous coup for Detroit.
Mark Williams, yeah. We knew that was coming, but man, that is...
Woj says tremendous coup for Detroit's GM Troy Weaver to land Ivy and Duran.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely are retooling around their young core, and they're looking at 5 years down the line, So
And what are the Knicks doing? Like,
Nicking. They nicking, bro.
I'm going to look up Shams really quick and see what he's got. He might have more details than Woj. So, let's see.
You're just like, Woj doesn't know what he's talking about.
So
anymore.
look, so it says Knicks are trading Kemba Walker to Detroit. Knicks acquired. It says the Knicks acquired Jalen Duren and moved him with Kemba Walker to the Pistons. Shams is confused. Woj is confused. I'm confused. I don't get it.
They've been
Duren,
rivals for a while now.
Duren and Kimba could both be going to the Pistons.
I feel like that's why would the Pistons want Kemba?
It says the Hornets traded Jalen
Unless
Duren
they're
to
buying
the
him out,
Knicks.
maybe.
I think that Woj says that Jalen Duren's going to the Pistons, and Shams says he's going to the Knicks.
But then it says, and then they're sending him with Kimba to Detroit, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, I see
Yeah.
what you're saying. Yeah, he corrected it.
So it'd just
farther.
be an addition of Kemba or not, basically.
So it was just a salary dump from the Knicks' perspective.
I wonder if they'll buy out Kemba or if he'll be on the Pistons. It seems like an interesting move for them.
I mean, they have
Sounds
that
like
cap space. That's what
Woj
they
here
use
says
the cap space
Atlanta
for.
is focused. They're focused on AJ Griffin at number 16. Finally, our boy's going in the off the J Bellis is best available.
Well, that can be how we capstone this this stream, is that we finally get
Seeing our
AJ
boy
Griffin
go.
off the board.
And as we end,
We can all applaud for him. Like, you've been sitting there a while. I feel for you, man.
we have to shout out the fact that the Hawks GM has surrounded Trae Young with yet another poor defender. Great move. We got Gallinari, lockdown defender. Bogdanovich, lockdown defender.
Kevin Herter, bro.
Kevin Herter, lockdown defender. And now
Do they still have Lou Williams? Okay.
I think they do. He's probably going to retire.
Apparently, they're going to let John Collins go too. So just get rid of.
Are
the
they? I
board
thought
defense.
I saw
They
on
don't
your
know,
screen
yeah.
over there that he was saying.
Yeah, it's not known, but
They couldn't find a trade partner.
yeah, it
That's how
doesn't really
goes.
seem like they were able to find a trade partner.
Wow.
Oh, here's Woj.
I cannot believe Memphis, or I keep saying Memphis because they keep saying Memphis Center.
Yeah.
Charlotte traded a lottery pick for what is undoubtedly going to be a bottom 5 in the first round pick.
What was the purpose of that?
I don't understand it. I'm like in shock.
Maybe
It's like,
LeVar Ball made the call, bro.
It seems like they could have traded their probably could have got the same deal for their 15th pick, right? And kept Duran instead of.
I mean, maybe they like
Everyone is really
Williams.
highly valuing that Milwaukee 2025 pick. They're just like, we'll give you Kevin Durant for it.
Yeah, I don't. That's weird to me. I don't
Okay,
understand it.
Atlanta's pick is in.
Let's see our boy go.
But it does feel like Detroit has really made some good moves. They kind of made the most. Like when I heard that they were trading Jeremy Grant for a low pick, I was surprised.
Yeah,
But
well, you had a plan to use it.
yeah, but apparently they had a strategy.
Is Duran starting for them next year?
Yeah,
Probably, especially with their age. You know, they're gonna have young
They have
everything.
Stewart there now. The
Oh,
guy who
yeah.
got flagranted by LeBron and was bleeding everywhere.
He's like kind of a bit of a shooter, right? Or am
I think he's just a big guy that's like smasher guy.
okay.
Like,
I thought he was
physical guy.
I thought he was kind of more of a stretch.
I
big,
don't
but-
believe so.
What's his name?
Isaiah Stewart.
Yeah, Isaiah.
So, yeah, that's interesting to me. It'll be interesting to see if they go for Ayton still. That and if they don't go for Ayton, I wonder who the suitors are for
The
Ayton.
first pick of him on.
Okay, here we go, guys.
Let's see our boy. Not AJ Griffin. Yay!
You know, it'd be funny if at some point Woj is just wrong on one of his picks. Where
It
he
sounds like that
says
Kemba thing. He maybe didn't get that detail.
Yeah, he didn't even mention Kemba. That's why Detroit opened up their cap space, was to take a bad salary back and get a pick for it.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense.
Rockets are focused on LSU's Tari Eason. So
Yeah. He's a wing. That's probably a good pick for the Rockets. I like what the Rockets do with their 2 picks here.
Well, what do you guys think the Blazers are gonna? Any more moves this offseason? Mini moves this offseason? Get another wing, probably. Get another forward, hopefully.
I think we'll try to get another wing. Seems like they're pretty interested in Anunoby. I don't know what they're going to have to give up for him at this point. You know, I don't know if it'll just be the pick, you know, who they ended up drafting with the pick, Sharpe, or if it'll be
Simons.
Simons.
I sort of feel like Simons is really the one that might go at this point, but
I think
That would balance the lineup pretty good, but you need. I feel like you kind of need Simon scoring if you add,
Mhm.
you know, OG, because look at the, you know, I mean the OG and Grant would be better scorers than Aminu and Harkless were, but you still need shot creation from somewhere.
Lillard will just have to go for 50 every game, bro.
Yeah, and at least the other team won't just score a layup every time down like they have been in years past.
I know.
I think that
Just
they
put
will.
competence around Dame and he'll take care of the rest.
Amazing, right, Neil?
No, bro, he's too busy screaming at his staffers for bringing him the wrong flavored coffee or whatever. His coffee isn't hot enough. Ask for ice.
On that note,
Thank you for tuning in to our live reactions. Yeah, YouTube kind of screwed us there, but we will see you next week. Thanks for tuning in to From the Logo
show.